Everyone, welcome back to the channel. So in this video we are going to analyze the trades that I took during the month of June, that is the last month, and the trades were pretty solid. The analysis was pretty solid. So let's first review the USD CAD trade. Okay, so let's try to understand the reasoning behind the trade and why this trade was planned in the first place. So as you can see that on the weekly charts, USD against CAD had a very strong breakout to the upside around the time of November 2024. And so after this strong breakout, what we saw here was a strong pullback as well. But the price when I took this trade was approaching this area. Now for me this meant that the buyers, the potential buyers who were able to take the prices to the upside could possibly react from this area and make their buys once again and possibly take the prices higher once again. And so I was looking for signs of strength around this area coming from the buyers. On this 4-hour chart, I was able to see that the price had begun to make a higher low. So this is the previous low and this is the higher low. And more so when you see the low point which was breached and compare it with this whole area, you'll see that the price just poked below and came quickly inside. Now this is what we can actually call a fake breakout, but it also indicates that the buyers have shown signs of strength here. The prices came down quickly and the prices flew back quickly inside. I went down to the 1 hour time frame. Now on the 1 hour time frame, you couldn't see that the price created a high, the price created a second higher high, a higher low. We can also see it in this way that the buyers pushed the prices up and they stepped up, didn't give up, and they also were ready to take the prices up by buying at higher prices, which was ultimately responsible for creating this higher low. And so once I saw that the higher low has been formed, the area has been consolidating from a long time, with the added confluence of having a weekly swing low around the same area, and also that the economic news in the previous week was strong for USD. So having all these confluences, I planned this trade. As soon as this candle formed, the candle on 17th June 25, which closed at 8 a.m., I entered on the trade and I took this trade roughly till this area. Now why this area? Because for the hourly and 4-hour time frames, this is the recent swing high that could possibly have acted as an area of resistance, and that was the reason, one of the reasons, that I took my all the profits around this area. I kept on taking partials in some places, but ultimately I closed my position around this area. So this was the USD CAD trade. Now let's go on to the Aussie Yen trade, which I also discussed, and I also uploaded a shorts video for that pair. Now as I had discussed the setup in the previous trade, a similar setup had formed in this chart as well. Now as you can see, the previous breach of the low happened around this area. This was the recent swing highs for the daily time frame. The price shot up quickly, the buyers stepped up again, the prices consolidated here, the prices started to consolidate here. I was planning a position somewhere around here. This was the whole area of consolidation which I observed. Now I was expecting consolidation to break, to not take very long, and I tried entering my positions around this candle, but then I did not put my stops around this area as I was expecting some sort of a movement at that time. I rather put my stop around this area. Pretty illogical, honestly, but I was expecting a stop below the consolidation. However, this trade took a very long time to launch, more particularly because the other Aussie and other yen pairs weren't ready. So when all of these pairs had aligned through correlation, and when all the pairs were ready to move, that's when the Aussie yen pair also started to move, and this happened around 3rd of July. That's where the trade began. I couldn't take this trade because I couldn't find time from work to enter this trade. My triggers also on the chart were deleted once this choppiness formed, and I forgot to set it once again, so I missed this one. And with regards to the Bitcoin trade, which I discussed with you, so earlier we had discussed that Bitcoin might fall till the levels of 95,000. I was expecting the Bitcoin to test around this area, 94, 95,000. However, the chart of Bitcoin USD is excessively bullish on weekly time frames. So as you can see, the last area of reaction from where buyers took over was this area, and this area merely formed a small pullback. So I was expecting the price to possibly test around this area, since this is also area of consolidation where a lot of positions must have been formed. And so I was expecting the prices to test around this area, but they turned till here, and I was able to catch some move around this area. I added my entry around the area that I have marked. So as soon as I saw this consolidation break around this area, I entered the trade. However, as soon as I saw that the trade was reversing with equal speeds, I then gave up on this trade and closed my position somewhere around this area, booking a small profit. However, this trade also took a very long time. This was possibly Saturday, right? So I think because of the weekends, there was not much activity and not much volumes. Although there were good volumes around Saturday at the time when I entered, but equal volumes happened during this pullback, during this retracement as well, which made me lose confidence in this trade, and that's why I cut my positions around this point. But the trade took very long time. It consolidated for a long time and eventually launched late night, early morning on Sunday. So this trade also was part of a good analysis. Unfortunately, I could not book significant profits on this trade. However, I'm happy that the analysis was a good one. Although we were trading against a major trend, but I could not tell exactly from which point the turn might come. So eventually I was expecting the turn to happen from around the area of 95,000 levels, but it happened a little early, and I was prepared for this because we were eventually trading against the major trend, which is coming from the weekly time frames. So the analysis for the short side trade was from the hourly and the daily time frames. And that is all for this video. Hope you liked my analysis, and also that you watched all the shots before and after the trade. And I hope to share more such videos with you in coming days. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.